Dexter Lawrence, defensive tackle, stud defensive tackle for the New York Giants, has formally requested a trade today. You know, just when I thought the offseason was going well and fucking schwanky, all of a sudden,
I don't know
one of
how to
our
feel
hold
about
on, Jess,
this, to be honest.
hold on. Our best fucking defensive player wants to go ahead and request a trade. Just when I thought shit was turning the fucking tide, just when I thought that shit was going well and our defensive line would have been stacked, one of the best defensive tackles in the league just wants to be like, you know what? Bye. Great, because we don't want to fucking re-sign him to a longer term deal. It's great. I'm happy.
Is that the GM that doesn't want to sign him? Because they haven't been having beef with this guy over the last few seasons.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been that happy.
He hasn't gotten
That's what I read.
he hasn't gotten a contract extension, and they've been in talks for like a year now about like a contract extension, and he just hasn't gotten any, traction on that.
And so this new coach doesn't
I don't know.
think he
You know
deserves
what
it
it
either.
is? I will say this could be true. However, this could all be a scheme to try to get him paid. Could be a scheme, Chad. Because a lot of players do this. I want my contract. I'm not going to show up.
But okay, so what
Oh,
does
I'm going
Coach
to
Harbaugh
request a
feel about him now?
trade. Oh, I'm going to do all that. I'm going to do this rah-rah shit. Then all of a sudden, they get their contract, and they're right back there at the facility like they never left. So who knows? Maybe this is all a ploy. Maybe he's just trying to get money out the Giants, which I don't mind. Pay him. Pay him. There's two other guys better than him. Pay him. He's a top 3 defensive tackle. Pay him. That's it. He's the top 3 defensive tackle in the league. I don't care if he had a down year last year. Everybody had a down year last year for the Giants. We were dog shit. You pay good players to be there because the belief is that with better coaching, that with a better system, they'll be better. He was good under fucking Brian Daboll. You think he won't be good under John Harbaugh, the guy who likes to coach defense? Chat. I don't know.
Well,
What does the coach feel? Does the coach want him?
Of course the
You
coach.
don't think he'd be
Of
making
course the
a
coach
push for
wants
him?
him. But this is I'm not buying
What?
anything in the media right now because every coach is gonna give the same standard answer. Oh yeah, we want him here. Shit, you want him here. He's a great
But
player.
don't you think that they would at least want to satisfy the coach and be like, well, yeah, we'll keep him for the coach. We'll extend him for the coach. Like, you just got John Harbaugh. Maybe you do want to keep your best players for him. So what the fuck?
Joe Shane likes to take risks. I've noticed this, and he's an interesting fellow when it comes to giving
It's a
star
little
players.
fishy. I don't know if this is fake, Lewis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know what? It could be fake or it could not be. I'm leaning on the side of optimism that I hope it is, but I don't know if it is. So potentially, if he's trying, potentially gonna get traded, I hope we get a good value out of him as a player because he's fantastic. He's such a good player. Daniel, yes.
if I may,
Go ahead.
I think there's 2 routes this can go down. And I think we're going to know on draft day. The Giants are sitting at 6, right? There are really great pass rushers in this draft. It's a very heavy defensive draft this year, especially on D-line. Giants picking 6. That's a really good spot to take a
They're
D-lineman
picking
or
5.
best player available. Picking 5, whatever. Even better spot to pick a stud defensive player, right? Or BPA, best player available. I had to think about that. BPA. If they draft a D lineman, this story's legit. This John Harbaugh probably does not want him. He probably does legitimately want out. He doesn't want to deal with Joe Shane anymore. So this is a legit story. If they do not draft a D lineman, I think this is just a ploy by the agent to try to get him a contract extension. Because he is a great defensive player, but he's a bit of a tweener. He's in an awkward position because he had a great year 2 years ago. Last year was a down year. So he probably wants the money for the year he had 2 years ago. And the Giants like, well, what have you done for me lately? Not great. You're not getting that money. Which is what NFL teams do, NFL players. This is the argument. What you did for me 2 years ago is not what you did for me last year. So which Dexter Lawrence are we going to get? And rightfully so, Lewis, everyone had a down year. And maybe on John Harbaugh it's going to be better. But are the Giants willing to take that chance when Kayvon Thibodeau has been a bust? Where Abdul Carter has been inconsistent at best? And you already have Kayvon Thibodeau and Abdul Carter. Why would you need to take a fourth D lineman? Why would you need to pay a fourth D lineman? Because now the second point is I think about the future as well. Let's say Jackson Dart becomes a stud. You got to pay him. That's going to be a pretty fucking penny. Let's say Cam Scadaboo turns into an RB1 and he stays healthy. That's another pretty penny. That's not cheap. Let's say Abdul Carter turns into the all-pro, Lawrence type linebacker, where he's breaking records and he's a stud and he's one of the best pass rushers in the game, best linebackers in the game. That's a pretty penny. You have to think now, a couple years down the line, the Giants may have a salary cap problem when it comes to paying players who they're going to play or who they're going to pay. If they pay Dexter Lawrence now, and let's say that every point they hit and every player they hit turns out to be a great player that they have to pay, it's going to be hard to keep Dexter Lawrence under that contract and justify it. Or somebody may have to be on the chopping block, whether it's Cam Scadaboo or Abdul Carter or Kayvon Thibodeau, whatever. At some point, the numbers have to add up. So I think if they draft a linebacker, and they don't have to because they do have Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau and whatever, if they draft a linebacker or a defensive end, I think the story is legit. I think the story is very feasible. I think this is not like a ploy. Dexter Lawrence is gone. Like second round pick gone. Probably what it's going to be because it's on a 1-year deal. If that's not the case, and they don't draft the D lineman, and we get to minicamp and he's holding out and whatever he's doing all these tactics, I think it's fair to say like, okay, he's just holding out the holdout, and he will get paid. Like there's two very common routes this goes down. This is a very common story. It just happens to the Giants, so we'll see what happens. But I think we have to wait until draft day to see what the Giants do before we can confirm or like really discuss this story. I think draft day is going to be very telling to see what the Giants do at 5. Because 5 is a very interesting spot for them to be at, so we'll see.
Let's play a hypothetical game. If I am the Giants GM, what am I doing? You know how I feel about paying your good fucking players. I feel really good about paying good players. And when you have good players in the room, you pay them. Especially at positions where they are the best at. I'll tell you right now, there's not 3 defensive tackles better than Dexter Lawrence. I know he had a down year, but still, he's so good. And when he's fucking moving and grooving, he is one of the best pass rushers in the league. Especially from the defensive tackle position, where if you can get fucking really good pass rush upside, whew, you're a problem. And, if you give him a 3-year deal, give him a 4-year deal, I feel like you'll still have enough money to pay those guys. You know what I mean? These guys, Cam Scadaboo, Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter, they're just after their first year, right? So if we're talking about payment, they're waiting 3 more years. They're waiting 3 to 4 more years max, right? I think you got the opportunity to pay. You got a quarterback on a rookie deal, especially a rookie deal, and if he's good, you pay guys around him because you have time. You could pay guys. You have the money. You don't have to worry about the quarterback right now. You can pay these guys. So the fact that they're not wanting to, it's a bit crazy to me. I would pay Dexter Lawrence in a heartbeat. I probably would have paid him last year. I don't give a fuck because he's that good. That's just my opinion of what they should do, respectfully. And Juice Man's in the chat. Juice Man, what's up?
So, I'll say this. Let's play this game. We'll play this game a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jones has a $31 million a year contract.
Mm-hmm.
Milton Williams has a $26 million a year contract.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Davis has a $26 million a year contract. Zach Allen has $25.5 million a year contract. Right? Those are the top. And then, who's this? Alim McNeil has a $24.25 million contract. Those are the top paid defensive linemen or interior defensive lineman contracts, right? Chris Jones, Ben Williams, Jordan Davis, Zach Allen, and Aleem McNeil, right? How much are you willing to pay Dexter Lawrence? Because he's going to want probably between that 31.7 to that he probably wants $30 million a year. Are you paying Dexter Lawrence $30 million a year?
If he's asking for $30 million, I give him $30 million for 3 years, so $90 million in total. Yes, I do it. Yes. In a heartbeat too. I signed that contract immediately. Make the money guaranteed. Make $70 million of that guaranteed. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Like I'm telling you, like they can do it. They're just like, well, we're trying to save pennies on the dollar here. No. Stop. Like he will get paid somewhere else. You don't let good players just slip from the wayside like that. We saw what happened with Saquon Barkley. Won a Super Bowl. 2,000 yards. Best player on that offense. Dexter Lawrence goes to a team that needs a defensive tackle. He just upgrades that whole defense. And he's really good.
So right now, Dexter Lawrence is getting, against the cap, $27 million. So he'd be getting $3 million pay increase, right? It's not a lot. He probably wants more. But let's say hypothetically he wants to be just under Chris Jones at $30 million, right? Then you have to pay. You're still paying Brian Burns, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to probably pay Kayvon Thibodeau, probably, because this is the last year of his deal.
We'll get him out of here.
Right?
Trade him.
Abdul Carter is going to want a pay increase because it's Abdul Carter. The say turns out great.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Malik Neighbors. If he stays healthy, he's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jackson Dart. He's a stud. You have Cam Scatterboo. He's a stud. Let's say Theo Johnson turns out great. You got to pay him, right? I'm not saying it's not feasible, but I'm also saying that we may get to a point a couple years down the line where these guys' contracts coming up, we have to pay some of them a little bit more money. I don't know how much cap space the Giants have exactly, but in 2027, 2028, this contract may come to bite them in the back. And somebody may have to go.
I don't think. I think if it comes back to bite them in the butt, then that's just terrible management. Like this specific contract itself will not bite them in the ass. It'll be other contracts that are way worse. Like if Dexter Lawrence, this contract that Dexter Lawrence is gonna get will not make or break this team financially. There's no way. I don't believe that because he's worth it. He just is. Like the production that he does on the football field is fantastic. He's a top 3, top 4 defensive tackle in the league. Like, you're paying top dollar for that. He's a stud pass rusher. Get fucking Kayvon Thibodeau out of here. You have Abdul Carter and Brian Burns. You just do. You can fucking dispose of Kayvon Thibodeau. You can get him out of here. Get a fucking 3rd round pick for him. Who cares, right? You can easily do these things, right? You can maneuver the cap too. Especially like the cap is a construct. I don't believe it. It's just like time. You know what I mean? It's man-made. You know what I mean? So what even is a salary cap? You know, I'm coming at it from that angle now because I'm out of luck. Okay? I think they could do it. Yeah, you can. But it's like, we want to win the deal. But do you want to win on the football field? The Giants, I'm sick and tired of the Giants trying to win in the negotiation room. When are we going to start winning on the field? That's the real fucking issue I have. We're, we got to sign these deals and we got to make sure the money's right. When are we going to win on the football field?
You'll do it this year.
We better. Because imagine we don't give Dexter Lawrence that money and then he's not there and we're fucking ass in the run game. We can't stop the run to save our life. Chat, I think he was fucking worth paying at that point. Let me tell you. So, you know, it'll be interesting. Say at least it was going to be.
We'll see what happens. I think draft day at 5 is going to be very telling.
Yeah.
To see what position they go with. They have a lot of different options they can go down, a lot of different routes, so we'll see.